Welcome to the Ontario Mortgage and Real Estate Insights podcast, your go-to source for the latest developments, trends, and regulatory changes in the industry. I'm your host. I'm Sandy, your guest host from Keller Williams Legacies, here to provide you with insights sourced from reputable news outlets to help you stay informed.
Steve Hemowin here. This is brought to you by Real Approved Inc., a trusted mortgage brokerage dedicated to helping Canadians achieve their home ownership dreams. Visit realapproved.ca to learn more about how our experienced team can assist you with your mortgage needs. Let's dive into today's episode. Today we're starting with a hot-button issue that's been making waves across Ontario, the shelving of controversial rent control consultations after a public outcry. Sandy, what do you think about this sudden shift by the Ontario government?
Well, Steve, it's quite a significant move. The government had initially planned to consult on ending rent control and indefinite leases, which would have allowed landlords more control over who occupies their units and for how long. But the backlash was swift and strong from renters, advocates, and municipal leaders.
Right, Sandy. Municipal Affairs and Housing Minister Rob Flack announced that they wouldn't proceed with these consultations. He emphasized the need for stability and predictability in Ontario's rental market. It seems the government wants to focus on reforms that restore balance at the landlord and tenant board and encourage new rental construction.
That's correct, Steve. There's a significant emphasis on common sense reforms, which includes cracking down on abuse within the system and ensuring families can find homes more easily. It's all about balance, it seems.
I agree, Sandy. But we should also note that this reversal has been welcomed by tenant advocates and municipal leaders, including Toronto Mayor Olivia Chow. She praised the tenant organizations for making renters' voices heard, emphasizing the need for safe and affordable housing.
Absolutely, Steve. However, Mayor Chow did express concerns that other aspects of Bill 60 could still erode renters' rights at the landlord and tenant board and reduce compensation for tenants evicted through no fault of their own.
That's a valid concern, Sandy. According to statistics, Canada's 2021 census, nearly half of Toronto's population rents their homes. This underscores the potential impact of any changes to the rental housing policy.
Indeed, Steve. Advocacy group Acorn has called the government's decision to back away from the consultations a good move, but they also urge the province to strengthen tenant protections rather than weaken them. It's a complex issue, and any changes could have wide-reaching implications.
It really is, Sandy. The episode has reignited debate over the future of rent control and tenant rights in Ontario. It's crucial for both landlords and renters to stay informed as this situation develops. Next up, we're diving into a comprehensive report from REMAX Canada that highlights a significant 30-year surge in Canadian home prices. This has been fueled by population growth and policy shifts. Sandy, it is intriguing to see how urban centers like Halifax, the Greater Toronto Area, and Saskatoon have experienced such dramatic increases in home values. We're talking about price gains between 377% and 460% since 1994. That's quite a leap.
Absolutely, Steve. It's a striking trend that has seen Canadian home values soar, especially in those major urban centers. These increases have been driven largely by population growth and shifting policies. But while existing homeowners are seeing substantial equity gains, new buyers are facing some of the toughest market challenges we've seen in recent memory.
Right, Sandy. Don Kotick, president of REMAX Canada, pointed out that home ownership remains the greatest driver of wealth, particularly for the middle class. He noted that each generation, from baby boomers to Generation Z, has faced its own set of challenges and obstacles. He seems optimistic that the current trade barriers, high interest rates, and stringent lending policies will eventually pass as market cycles historically rebound.
That's an interesting perspective, Steve. Kotick's optimism is certainly something many in the industry are hoping for. However, the report also highlights that price appreciation has far outpaced wage growth. For instance, in the Greater Toronto Area, while home prices surged more than fourfold, Average family income rose by just 34.6% from 1994 to 2023. This disparity makes it increasingly difficult for first-time buyers to enter the market.
Indeed, Sandy. The report from REMAX Canada underscores recurring themes like affordability, population growth, and supply shortages shaping the residential housing market. It's interesting to see how different regions are affected by these factors. For example, Vancouver is facing a looming condo shortage, while Edmonton grapples with affordability issues, and Halifax experiences a steep climb in property values.
And let's not forget about the population growth aspect, Steve. Canada's population has grown significantly, especially in cities like Calgary and Edmonton, where population increases have been fueled by immigration and targeted provincial campaigns. Yet, housing supply has not kept pace, leading to a chronic undersupply of homes. This has left Canada with the lowest number of housing units per 1,000 residents among G7 nations.
That's a critical point, Sandy. The Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation has even warned that construction slowdowns threaten future affordability. As supply gaps worsen, a growing number of potential buyers are being locked out of the market, perpetuating the affordability crisis.
It really is a complex situation, Steve. Government interventions like foreign buyer taxes and mortgage stress tests have tried to shape market cycles, sometimes cooling overheated segments, but they've also constrained access for new buyers. Meanwhile, federal initiatives such as the planned Build Canada Homes Agency and $13 billion in funding for modular housing aim to address the supply gap.
Despite all these challenges, Canadians remain committed to home ownership. The national home ownership rate was at 66% in 2021, with cities like Calgary and St. John's outperforming this average. Don Kotick emphasized the importance of governments working to assist potential homebuyers in realizing their dreams of home ownership. Sandy, today we're diving into a pressing issue facing Ontario's housing sector. There's a huge call for bold and coordinated action to tackle the housing emergency. Projects are stalling, builders are canceling developments, and families are getting priced out of the market. It's quite a dire situation.
It really is, Steve. The Toronto Regional Real Estate Board is urging the provincial and federal governments to take immediate action. They emphasize that housing is not just about providing shelter, but it's also the backbone of our economy and the heart of our communities.
That's right, Sandy. The call is for governments at all levels to work together to unlock housing supply, cut costs, and restore affordability. There's a recognition of the positive steps taken so far, like the Fighting Delays, Building Faster Act 2025, but more needs to be done.
Exactly, Steve. And the housing sector is united in this call. They're asking for a reduction in construction costs, attracting investments, and aligning tax policy, zoning, and approval systems. All these measures aim to restore confidence, protect jobs, and support innovation at the speed and scale needed.
One of the key points is the idea of positioning housing as an economic driver. By recognizing housing construction as a core driver of employment and economic productivity, there is potential to preserve the job creation that the industry generates.
Yes, and modernizing outdated tax rules is crucial too. Extending the GST and HST exemptions on new homes up to $1.5 million could encourage more construction, particularly in major urban centers.
Aligning cost recovery with actual service delivery and housing goals is another important step. The current fee structures are inflating housing costs and constraining new supply. It's about reducing these barriers and working collaboratively with municipalities and provinces.
Innovation in construction methods is also highlighted. The call to support modern construction methods like modular building and robotics aims to reduce costs and construction time. It is about enabling home building at scale, and this should be done alongside traditional techniques.
And of course, freeing up land and ending exclusionary zoning is vital. By permitting gentle density and a wider mix of housing types, especially missing middle and multi-unit dwellings, we can address the supply shortages.
Absolutely, Steve. The housing sector is ready to partner with governments to reignite momentum and rebuild confidence. It's about restoring affordability through partnership, innovation, and investment to deliver the homes our communities urgently need. let's shift our focus to Toronto's commercial real estate market, which is showing resilience even as home prices are experiencing a downturn. According to CoStar Analytics, while residential prices in Canada have dropped by about 10 to 15% from their peak in early 2022, Toronto's commercial real estate values are holding steady.
That's right, Sandy. It's interesting to see that despite the fluctuations in the residential sector, the commercial market in Toronto remains robust. This stability can be attributed to balanced market fundamentals and the steady flow of capital into the sector.
Exactly, Steve. The fundamentals of supply and demand in the commercial sector seem to be more balanced compared to the residential market. Plus, the stability of investment capital is playing a crucial role in maintaining these values.
And let's not forget, Sandy, the commercial real estate sector often benefits from longer lease terms and more predictable income streams, which can offer a buffer against short-term market volatility. This might be why we're seeing such resilience in Toronto's commercial properties despite broader economic challenges.
Absolutely, Steve. It's also worth noting that commercial real estate often attracts institutional investors who are looking for stable, long-term returns. These investors tend to be less reactive to short-term market fluctuations, which might explain the steadiness we're observing.
Right, Sandy. And as we've seen, the commercial market in Toronto is buoyed by sectors like office spaces, retail, and industrial properties, which are showing strong demand. This demand is helping to keep values firm, even as other areas of the market face headwinds.
That's a great point, Steve. It's a testament to Toronto's economic diversity and its ability to attract a wide range of businesses. While the residential market might be cooling, the commercial sector seems to be providing some stability in these uncertain times.
Indeed, Sandy. As the market continues to evolve, it'll be crucial for investors and stakeholders to keep a close eye on these trends. Understanding the dynamics between residential and commercial markets can provide valuable insights for future investment decisions. Let's turn our attention to a significant legal development involving Briarwood Development Group. They were facing potential fines exceeding $30 million from the Home Construction Regulatory Authority, but all charges have been dismissed.
That's a major turn of events, Steve. Briarwood was accused of coercing buyers into paying more for homes after they had already signed agreements, extracting more than $18 million in the process. It's surprising to see the case fall apart at the regulator hearing.
It certainly raises questions about the regulatory process. The Home Construction Regulatory Authority failed to provide substantial evidence to support their claims against Briarwood. This has sparked calls for stronger protections for home buyers.
The buyers, including Vidi and Jagat Patel, are understandably disappointed. They were hoping for some accountability, especially after refusing to pay an additional $175,000 for their home. It's a tough situation for them, still being without their home years later.
From a regulatory standpoint, this case highlights a significant gap. The Home Construction Regulatory Authority couldn't substantiate its allegations, which led to the dismissal of the counts. Briarwood's lawyers argued that the developer acted ethically and transparently, and the lack of evidence seems to have supported that defense.
But let's not forget the voices of the buyers and their advocates, Steve. Real estate lawyer Bob Aaron expressed concern over the precedent this sets. He believes it undermines confidence for future buyers who need assurance that contracts will be honored.
That's a valid point, Sandy. The regulator's inability to present strong evidence certainly puts a spotlight on their investigatory practices. It seems there was a lack of direct evidence for the majority of the properties, which is concerning.
And Jagat Patel's situation is a stark reminder of the personal impact these proceedings have. He and his wife hope to move into a more affordable home to support their children's education. Now, they might need to consider litigation as their last resort.
Litigation can be a daunting and costly path, especially when you're already facing financial strain. It underscores the importance of having a regulatory body capable of effectively protecting consumers.
The Home Construction Regulatory Authority has acknowledged the disappointing outcome and has stated they will apply lessons learned to future cases. However, MPP Tom Rakocevic has criticized the regulator, suggesting they may need to reassess their team and strategies to better serve home buyers.
It's clear that more robust measures are needed to ensure home buyers are protected. Ontario Premier Doug Ford has previously vowed to crack down on price hikes in pre-construction homes, and this case might reignite discussions on how to better enforce those promises.
As the dust settles, it'll be crucial for both the government and the regulatory bodies to reassess their roles and responsibilities in safeguarding buyer interests. This case has highlighted the complexities and challenges within the real estate market.
Absolutely, Sandy. As we move forward, it is essential for all stakeholders to collaborate and find solutions that bolster consumer trust and ensure fairness in the housing market. Only then can we hope to avoid similar situations in the future.
Now let's delve into a topic that's capturing attention across North America and beyond. Both the United States Federal Reserve and the Bank of Canada are poised to cut interest rates, a move that's drawing significant focus as the rest of the group of 7 nations seem to be holding steady.
That's right, Sandy. It's an interesting development, especially since these rate cuts are happening amidst concerns about economic growth and labor market conditions on both sides of the US-Canada border. While the United States and Canada are taking these steps, other G7 countries are maintaining their current rates.
It seems the impetus for these cuts is about providing a buffer against potential economic downturns. The Federal Reserve, for instance, is likely characterizing this as insurance against downside risks to employment, according to Bloomberg Economics.
Absolutely, Sandy. It's a cautious move, but one that reflects the delicate balance policymakers are trying to maintain. Despite positive inflation numbers recently, there's still enough concern about the labor market that these cuts are deemed necessary.
And let's not overlook the impact of global trade tensions. The article mentions President Trump's tariffs, which have been a significant factor in slowing global growth, and these rate cuts could be a way to mitigate some of those pressures.
Exactly, Sandy. While inflation remains a concern, the focus seems to be on stabilizing the economy in light of these external pressures. It's a fine line to walk, ensuring that inflation does not spiral while also supporting economic growth.
The Bank of Canada is expected to lower its benchmark rate by 25 basis points to 2.25%. This comes even though recent inflation and job reports have shown some positive surprises. It's about delivering aid to an economy that's feeling the heat from tariffs and other global issues.
Indeed, Sandy. The data has been mixed, with inflation at 2.4% and core measures averaging 3.15%. Despite these figures, the decision to cut rates highlights the need to support an economy that's struggling with external shocks.
It's a complex situation, Steve. As we look at the broader picture, these moves by North American policymakers signal a proactive approach to economic management, even as they watch developments in other G7 nations.
Definitely, Sandy. It's essential for investors and stakeholders to stay informed and understand the rationale behind these decisions. As the global economic landscape continues to shift, these rate cuts could play a crucial role in shaping future growth. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Ontario Mortgage and Real Estate Insights podcast. We hope you found today's insights valuable as you navigate the world of mortgages and real estate.
Before you go, a quick reminder. Real Approved is here to make your mortgage journey smoother. Whether you're buying your first home or refinancing, their experienced team is ready to guide you with personalized support every step of the way. Visit realapproved.ca to get started and take the next step toward achieving your homeownership goals. Catch you next time and stay informed with the latest industry insights.